live with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just poking in from the side here, making sure everything's going smoothly.
Maybe not you, but hey.
I mean, yeah, well, from my perspective, everything's right side up.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe not, somebody might be clever enough to do an Aussie joke, but that's there. Anyway, next on the panel, Mikhail.
Hello.
Welcome back.
The cash sheet is back.
Next up on the show, once again, we have Behawolf.
Yes, sir. Jackal of all trades, master of absolutely nothing, apparently.
And nothing. Holding burgers with nothing in them.
Yeah, just bread.
All right.
Just the invisible bread. I can have a sandwich that's made of absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
it's like nothing.
We had a problem with this last time. Let's say, Behawolf, if you are saying something and we can hear it, just drop out of the stream and come right back in, and it should work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. And last of all, for the first time ever on the show, we have Zachary.
Hello, guys. Zachary Fox Kitty here.
So since you're here on the first time, kind of just, introduce yourself and just give us a little bit of a fun fact.
Well, Zachary Fox Kitty. From Jersey, or like people like the Jersey say, Jersey.
Jersey. I've never heard anybody say it like that, my dude.
Oh no,
they all say New Jersey.
New Jersey, I know. I just don't want to be, stereotypical.
Yeah,
just kind of.
It's a Jersey thing.
A Jersey thing, yeah.
In Jersey, that's the gay district. So.
Yeah, that's a gay district. Yep.
Where do you live? I live in New Jersey.
Jersey, I know.
All
right. So, without any further ado, shall we get started then? Looks like you have the stage this time, Behawolf. Considering, yes, not too long ago we've been trying to get you on the line, but things didn't really work out because we were trying to get you because you went to Denfur, right?
Yes, I did.
Well, give us kind of a bit of a rundown and see, how was the convention experience and any little interesting things happen?
Overall, I really think the convention was pretty good. Really, I think a lot of the problems this year were the hotel's
Behawolf,
fault.
You there?
Hello? Yeah, Aviary, we can't hear him. I can. Don't worry. We'll continue.
Okay. We're mainly hotel-based. They sucked at designing
the
dealer's den. Not gonna lie. Because it was basically a zigzag with the tables being the narrowest at the entrance, and they got wider as you went back. Where all, the popular people were in the back, but no one dared go that far in there because it was just so crowded at the doors. I mean, we're talking like 3 people wide at the entrance to dealer's den.
Ooh.
And by the end of it, there was enough floor space for floor wars to go on between the tables.
So the dealer's den was very overcrowded.
At the front. At the front,
yeah.
But also in dealer's den was specifically where the air conditioning failed 3 times.
And
3 times.
Wow.
We've been hearing lots of complaints on Denfur that the humidity has gone into everybody there.
Oh, this year is horrible. I don't even understand how it could be that humid inside a building that has air conditioning. The humidity inside the building had to be 90-95%. Because I that was a problem that I had in the hotel room. My hotel room, I'm like, hey, the air conditioner is basically a fan. I'm gonna set my fursuit head on it to dry. Okay, it cools it off, it dries. You would think that, except every single air conditioner, the rooms that had working air conditioners and didn't have portable units that may or may not have worked, their air conditioners were swamp coolers. They just pumped humidity into the room, and I pulled my head off like 2.5 hours later, and I'm like, my head should be completely, why is it soaking wet?
Oh.
Ooh,
So
that'll be
that was my experience with, their air conditioning system, along with 2 other air conditioning failures that the hotel had. Denfur itself needs to work on volunteer management, as I went and had volunteered. And I got told to stand around at a door because the place wasn't open yet and they didn't know where they needed me.
Clever
Okay,
management.
I'll guard the 18+ dealers den because it's not open for another hour and nobody knows what's going on.
I bet you probably put on your biggest "You shall not pass."
I really wanted to, but I was like, I'll just stand here. I'll let the dealers in and out. And that's the only people who are allowed in here. And then, like, an hour after it was supposed to open, they're like, oh, it's open now. You can let people in. Okay, thanks for telling me, an hour after it opened. But they're like super desperate for volunteers, super desperate for staff, but they're just like everyone had no idea what was going on or where they were supposed to be going. Other hotel problems was they had like a sewage backup or something in the convention side.
Oh no.
So
Ouch.
the entire corridor of death that you had to take to get to the convention space, because it's such a weird layout at Denfur, smelled like
must have
raw
reeked.
sewage
Yeah,
for
that sounds
2 days.
disgusting.
That
2 of the
that
3
would remind
days.
you of a very,
Yeah.
very, very specific convention with a sewage problem.
Yeah.
I know which one
Yeah.
is that.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh gosh, not the baby first.
Yeah. But wow, that
Oh gosh.
one catastrophe after another. That's what
Um,
Denver sounds like.
Well, one thing that was people who were attending the convention, I think it was the first night's rave. It was Friday night's rave for whatever music they had going on. Literally, as soon as it started, someone like came in, danced for like 30 seconds, and threw up on the dance floor.
Oh my gosh. That's disgusting.
Yeah, just like walked in, started dancing, and threw up all over the place.
Oh, damn.
Gosh, damn, that's disgusting. Yeah.
Party
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Good
They're
news
like,
is
I can
that
do it. I can totally.
I can totally. No, I can't. So they made sure because the first event in main events, the next morning was dance competition preliminaries. So they had to make sure it was all cleaned up before we could get out there and see who prelimed.
Wow.
Oh, nobody would have wanted to dance in all that running. No, that
Wow.
smell.
No.
and-
Hell no.
The good news is they completely changed main events and doubled the size of main events. So that was a huge plus. Another plus was they tripled the size of the headless lounge. It seemed like it was an entire convention space that was all basically the headless lounge. They grew by 700 people, which is a crazy growth rate, to be honest. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
we can hear you.
Everyone went quiet.
No,
Yeah,
we're
it's
so enamored
interesting.
by your story. You have something good going on. We were
Was there any interesting presentations there? I don't know.
What?
presentations.
Any interesting any presentations or whatever?
To be honest, they actually had the Colorado chapter Star Trek recreation people there. So they recreated like an entire Star Trek area in the artist alley that you get like like a picture of you in your fursuit with a Data and Picard cutout on a teleporter.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
And they had like the 4D chess stuff. It was the Chapter 14, Colorado, the USS Tenton, I think it was.
I think so.
They were pretty neat. Other than that, I really didn't have too much bad to say about it because I went super patron status and you got super special treatment. Like, you got front row of the photo, you got first people out in the parade, you got priority saved seating, you got... Oh, the parade? Yeah, parade was fun.
Oh, give me a sec. I want to share this with you guys. Does it work? Yeah. Considering that with all the heat and humidity going on...
Yeah, it was only like 90 degrees out, and, you know, the first... Like, the parade was great, because you go outside, we went through the parking lot, and then you came inside over by the lobby, and what ended up happening is they had a single camera that everyone in the parade had to walk through. I see myself, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
But what ended up happening is they had a photo booth at the end. That it was one person. You came in there, you posed once, they took a picture, and then they continued, and then you continued on. So that just left a chain reaction of people piling up to get their photo taken all the way out. And probably, I heard out to the parking lot.
Ooh, right.
So, you know,
so it's basically a trip outside and a trip back inside.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's death outside, death inside.
That is crazy.
All that
Because
humidity
actually,
too.
like this particular part of the parade was the best part because this is the only side of the building that had wind on it. So you walk outside and you could instantly feel it go through your suit, and it's like, that feels so good because the air conditioning wasn't doing anything inside. And then you turn the corner and there's no wind at all, and it's just dead still air, and you're like, I'm dying.
Okay, yeah, that's...
One thing I noticed in that video, it seems like the fursuit ratio to non-fursuit ratio is pretty high. Like more fursuits than non-fursuits.
I mean, there was 2,700 people there,
Okay.
and I think they came out. I think there was 350 fursuits.
Oh, okay. So it was not the majority.
So it was like 15% of the people were in fursuit.
Oh, okay.
But also, there was a lot of people who didn't make it to the parade because they didn't see it in the con, because they ran out of con books. Okay, that's
really?
like major problem. They ran out of con books, so they were telling everyone, "Hey, it's online on our website."
Oh.
So if people miss the photo, which is where they get their fursuit numbers, is from when they when you walk out of the photo, is when they're counting to see how many fursuits they have.
Okay, that's why you don't see that many.
Yeah, I bet there's probably 400, 500 fursuiters, but you know, some of them didn't know what time it was happening. Some of them, and there's
that's probably why
it was kind of chaos. It was controlled chaos pretty much most of the con.
Yeah, but yeah. Other than that, though, so what other complaints did we get up to? Did happen? What other little things as well? Because we kind of talked about, you know, how cons are basically going up and up and crazy with this woke shit.
Oh
yeah.
I don't really see too much wokeness, like, blaringly going on. The only thing is that I got told by some of the con staff that they were banning the Nazi for bleep off ribbons.
Ha! Good.
Like, and anyone who was caught with one would either have to remove it or be ejected from the con, and someone who was handing them out would be automatically ejected from the con.
Denfur Con should have done that same thing.
Yeah, I feel that it's kind of a thing that it's over now. It's like, I was actually talking to someone last night, and it's legitimately like every single thing in the fandom is a fad for a little while. It's for like, maybe it might last like a year or so, but it's a fad that goes away. Like, everyone just drops it after, you know, everyone gets all their fame and glory out of it. It just goes away, and then something else takes its place.
Well, it goes to show you that fandom just has a short memory.
But it's not necessarily like a short memory thing. It's just I think people are starting to understand the divisiveness of what actually is happening when people are, handing these things out and such.
Yeah, considering it's basically, less politics the better. So
I mean, you're only removing one letter. I mean,
Mhm.
what's that word, mommy? I can tell you 3 of the letters. What's the other one? Yeah, that's a wonderful influence on, 9 through 13-year-olds. What's this word? What does
Oh,
this mean?
yeah, not to mention there's other cons who basically had to change the word to, to make it more kid friendly.
Oh, it's really.
Yeah. That.
It
Well-
just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Just like, quit causing divisiveness. Just
I mean,
have
it
fun.
doesn't. But okay, you guys have heard of Exoticon?
Yes.
Are you talking about
know
the
how they spell
frickin'
it?
sin? The sin?
Yes.
Denfur con?
There's a reason that there's 3
Yeah.
X's in it.
You think exactly?
Yeah.
It's also called Exotica.
Oh, Exoticon. It's a convention for exotic shit. Okay, that's what
Really?
we're talking about here.
Oh, okay.
Right.
The adult
Murcon
exotic stuff.
is at least a little bit more.
Yeah, Sin
Mer,
City
that's enough.
Mercon.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
get to that in a second though. But we'll kind of just want to just close up though. So, do you think when all of this said though, do you think Denfur has the capacity to turn in a more positive direction?
Yes, but they need a new venue.
Mm-hmm.
Because, the last thing that I forgot to make a note about. The pool was low in the hotel, so they decided to fill them.
Yeah.
Someone forgot to turn it off, so it
Ooh.
flooded a portion of the lobby.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh.
The next morning, like there was water
Oh.
all over,
The
like
carpet. Yeah.
one of the main ways down into the lobby.
Oh, okay, but that wasn't
Joy.
Furries though, right?
That
That was-
I mean, the hotel had a lot of problems this year. Like the hotel
Oh.
staff were terrible this year. I mean, they were nice and everything else to us. Like I had some check-in problems and everything else, and they were super nice to me about that. But other than that, a lot of people said they had tons of
Oh.
issues with hotel staff.
So it was just staff. Like, hotel staff was just a...
The hotel
Bitch.
building itself and the staff.
Okay, not with
Joy.
Vertigo was at all. Okay.
Well,
So I'm really hoping that Denfur either goes to the
Please,
only
like,
2 other
switch.
places that exist in Denver that are large enough to go above what we have right now are the Stapleton, which is far away from the airport and is in kind of downtown area, or go to the Gaylord of the Rockies.
well, that's another prospect that they've got to look into as well. So,
I sincerely hope that Denver becomes the first con to go to the Gaylord of the Rockies. To just say the Gaylords took over the Gaylord.
oh,
That's a
Be
good move.
honest,
right there.
that's a milestone in itself.
That would be awesome.
like a furcon that's basically self-aware that it literally themes it all around the name of the hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a
Look at
world
the
we live in.
furries.
Not the furries. But, yeah. Now, regardless in all that sense, though, just to conclude all of this, though, would you still basically recommend Denfur for the members of the group?
I'd recommend it, but I'm not sure I would recommend staying at the venue. Like, there's other hotels that are a block away, and I know how staying in the main hotel is. Like, I always try to get in the main hotel, but I cannot recommend the Crown Plaza to anyone right now, just because I had such a horrid experience with the hotel.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
Understandable. But, yeah. Since that's
And the
the
fact that
some basic
out of
story.
all times the AC goes out during one of these events, I mean that's just
It had to be
It
in the heart of summer.
It went out a total of 5 times. Twice for the
Uh-oh.
entire convention space. 3 separate times the dealer's den specific area overloaded and shut
What?
down.
Damn it! You
Wow.
know what? Blame the Russians. It's all their fault.
Yeah, totally. It's totally Russian hackers.
No, it's no, one person. No, they're gonna blame one person. And one person only.
Oh yeah. Let's
Who's
get it
that?
right.
Yeah, we know why, but we're not gonna say the name. But we know, they know they're gonna blame it on that one person.
Of course, because that person's always a fall person.
He literally haunts the place.
Hey, you can't blame it on the Russians. Blame it on Schiller.
Russia.
Yes, let's do just that. But hey,
I'll leave it
glad
there.
you had fun. I'm glad you had a great
Yeah,
experience
man.
there.
Yeah, I had a pretty decent time. I'm not gonna
Right.
say it was a great time, but it was pretty decent.
Awesome.
So, well, what's kind of next as well? Because the organizers of Denfur, what's it called? Corgi events. Yes. Also is organizing a new event in Las Vegas. Yes.
Sin City Murcon.
I can't take that mirror part seriously.
That's like legitimately something that's only ever seen in Furry RP. Let's be honest.
Well, the mirror, yeah.
Yeah.
The mermaid.
Oh, speaking of which, do we have any live
Their
comments from the
slogan.
audience?
Oh no! Why would you ever choose that as a slogan? No.
We'll get to the live comments in a sec.
Okay.
No.
Why would you? Because it's the best slogan to have.
But no.
But yeah. But yes.
Free your
Yeah, but
wild
yeah.
side. Come on.
That's right. They know who they're talking to.
Well, I mean, it is Las Vegas and it is an 18+ con. So, I mean, I understand, but
There you
still.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I hope that they at least have identification at the door as well.
Yeah, and this still is
I'm sure that's required. Like,
and this still is a dress code
thing
from my
that's gonna
understanding as well.
90% of those kind of hotels, like, that are hotel casinos, you have to check at the door, and they're like, give me your ID. And that's, like, required to even be on the property, usually.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the general idea of this all, an 18+ kink-friendly adult furry convention. In an adult space, we offer education, social opportunities, and a safe place for furries and kink to collide and have an amazing weekend. What could possibly go wrong?
I
Okay,
see absolutely nothing
I-
that can go wrong.
I have quite a few opinions on this matter. First of all, yes, I do think that there should be events where furries can go to that exclude minors. Not that I have anything against kids, young furries,
Well,
joining
actually,
the fandom and all
isn't
that.
there a...
But like, no, just hear me out. Now,
Okay, I'll hear you out.
okay, like, I get it, you're younger, maybe you're like 12 or 14 or whatever, you want to go to a furry con, that's all well and good. But there should be places, for those of us who are more inclined to be more engaged in adult activities. And I think this actually makes a lot more sense.
Well, there are actually a number of adult
Well, I
conventions.
mean, there are some
Well,
people
no, but
who
this is
go.
like specifically.
Yeah, this is specifically targeting the
Furries.
people who want to go there for other leisurely activities other than hanging out with individuals. I'm sure.
And I think this is probably one of where my problems lies, is because, let's be real here, this shit happens at every convention anyway, but minors are not involved. Or at least, God forbid they fucking shouldn't be.
Gee willikers, right?
Yeah, right? But like, so, adults who go to conventions, regardless of what convention it is, oh, it's a family friendly. Yeah, well, we're gonna do our own thing, and we're gonna go to our hotel parties and whatnot. And the minors can go have fun and do things with their families. That's all well and good.
Yeah, they just
But-
basically go,
but this-
venture
this
outside of
convention-
con space.
Right, but this con specifically is really honing in on that kind of marketing.
Oh, yeah.
What did they say in their tweet about like whatever kinks you have? I mean, like what con says that?
Well, I mean, it literally is in Vegas, so what
that's
goes on
kinda
in
fucked
Vegas
up.
stays
Yeah,
in Vegas.
Yeah,
Not this
exactly.
taste, because they'll be posting this all over.
Oh, yeah,
in
it's gonna
social
go
media
all
knowing
over.
furries.
This is weird
But-
though.
There's going to be a lot more stuff that goes on that's going to be posted. I can guarantee you that much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They say, look, remember this is what they say. We will still be abiding by local and federal law. This is not a sex convention, just an adult
Yes, it
kink.
is. Bullshit! It's not a
Oh.
sex
Le-
convention.
legit-
What if the
Legitimately,
media
90
goes there?
Probably
Oh, gosh, hope not.
90% of the people who are going to go to this are going to be laid that weekend.
Oh god, I'm just hoping Dog Press doesn't go to this.
Oh, I think he would. Oh, I think he would. knowing
I'm
the
beyond
full
tempted to
degenerate
go to
he
this,
is.
but I
I
would probably
hope-
end up
I sure
taking like
hope
a pair of
that
leaf
this.
cutters.
I sure hope that this FurCon has at least testing as well.
Oh, I think they'll include that.
Oh,
That's
I
given.
can
Yeah,
guarantee
yeah.
you that's going to
Yeah, I
happen.
hope so. I'm hoping so as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope to God, because Jesus.
It is that. Oh, and one more thing. They've also released the mascots for the.
Yeah, that's
Not a sex convention at all.
Yes.
Totally, definitely
All
not. Definitely not.
wholesome, all
no,
family
just
friendly.
just erotic in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah, it's just triple X. A triple X furry con that's totally not.
Let's
about
be
sex.
honest, it probably should be a 21 plus convention.
Yeah, because it's probably gonna be drinking involved.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
wait, whoa. It's not?
No, it's an
What's the-
18 plus.
18 plus. 18 plus.
Okay, no. No. No.
It's
Like, stop it. No. They can't be serious.
Well, yeah, that's kind of
Okay,
what it is.
Jolt,
But hey,
Jolt,
yeah.
Mikhail, I know you guys don't like live in America, but here in America, 21 means you're adult. That whole
I know,
18
we
bullshit
know.
really doesn't count.
Yeah, because
it's,
Well, actually,
it's illegally
it
drink.
does in certain states because there's states that are like, oh yeah, you're 16, you're an adult.
Yeah, but
that's
like,
not
no.
really.
In
Not
America,
really.
you gotta be 21 to like
To
Drink.
truly,
to buy a gun. To buy
To
a gun.
drink
that kind
well,
of.
you can when you're 18. But
In some states, but at the end of the day, when you're 21, like that's where shit goes down.
yeah, 21,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
like
you can
everything.
drink-
The
drink
world is your
alcohol.
oyster at 21.
Alcohol and all that stuff. Yeah.
You know,
The only
Here's
other
some-
restriction is you have to be 35 to run for president.
Really?
but no furry's probably ever gonna do just that at the moment. Hey,
Are you kidding me? Look at Donald Trump. He's a fucking lion.
yeah,
that meme, I swear.
I mean, he had a lot to run off of. The fact that he has, oodles and oodles of money that he doesn't care what he does with.
Yeah.
yeah. Not
Yeah,
to
anyway,
mention,
we're-
we could just
we're
pretty
getting
much
off track.
plaster them all
Yes,
in
we
his
are.
face as a lion. Plaster of him. There we go.
Anyway,
And that's a furry themed Trump party.
Yeah, the Lion Guard. Yeah, America.
But hey.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
so,
it's interesting. I mean, look, we'll probably keep tabs on that 18 plus con, if not for the fact.
I might be interested in just going to this because a flight to Las Vegas is pretty cheap.
Do
and
you have any?
It's called for some people, but so it's called Murcon, right?
Mhm.
That obviously
Now,
that's like
pretty much-
that's like
We all
my
know what
legs
it's
are
like.
open.
We all know what it's like. But
Yeah.
I'm saying furries.
Furries.
going
That
to know what this
furries.
is.
That the
But, like,
definition of mur is basically my legs are open.
All right.
Yeah, that's accurate. Do you have
okay.
Do you have any
My
questions
legs
in the
are
chat?
open.
Live comments, yes, we do. There's a couple of good live comments here and there.
Yeah.
Good,
Jack
but-
Dab
but-
says it's gonna be diaper bombing 2.0.
No,
I mean,
please,
look.
No.
I think
The
this rules.
king-
The other one.
I think
this-
I think
look.
this is rules against the diaper stuff, though. I read
Maybe.
it.
I could have a look at it, but
Yeah,
the thing
one place
is
There
that
is a dress code, so
it's open for pretty much any and all kinks, and if it's an anything goes pit of chaos, well,
You say that there are actually some hotels that have to be that actually ID you as soon as you're on the property.
Yes.
You're
So
saying that there's a single hotel that actually thought that this was a good idea and okayed it.
I mean, there's hotels that hold literally conventions about sex, like that
That's
have
true.
pole dancers.
Yes.
That come
yeah,
on.
but do they know furries though? Like,
Oh, probably. Come on. You
Sure.
really you asking stupid questions, mate.
I
yeah,
mean,
stupid
gi-
questions that got
given
a con
the
shut down because of that degeneracy, and it wasn't even directly like that. I mean, holy shit, guys! Like, this is what?
it's also Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess, but
Okay. There's a dress code as well. I can basically point this
Yeah.
out to you guys.
Yeah, there is. I think no diapers or whatever. Like.
All right,
like
let's have a
sports
read of
diaper.
it. Then here's what we invite: furries, ponies,
No
pups, and
visible.
everything in between. Here's what we deem acceptable: fursuits, full partial clothing, latex, leather, rubber, PVC, lace, full face covers, regular clothes. List of do nots: no exposed genitals in any capacity, including artificially made. No nipples, male, female, or non-binary.
what is that bullshit?
No, binary.
That is what's
Binary
called covering
nipples?
all your bases.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess they have to say the
Fuck
nine.
that.
I guess they have to say non-binary because
Non-binary nipples. That's a thing. That's a thing, guys. If you have non-binary nipples, not allowed.
No.
Wow.
But but what about my genderqueer nipples? Is that okay? They didn't
That's
include
a
me.
non-binary nipple.
No,
Then
no,
again,
it's
no
genderqueer.
nipples.
It's different.
Oh,
Yeah, jeez. Oh, and then again, also, there's also the no male nipples thing, which means the con is probably super feminist.
Of course.
Oh gosh.
Okay, no exposed buttocks, no exposed diapers,
Oh, that's different.
That's good.
liquid
Yeah,
latex,
well-
body painter's clothing, no leashes unless they're breakaway capable.
Huh.
So-
Do we know? I'm assuming there's also after hours as well, right?
Of
Dude,
course.
this one is after hours 24/7.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, it's an 18 plus convention to begin with. That means
And-
there is no after hours. Everything's allowed all the
Oh,
time.
okay.
And this is
Okay.
just what they say in public. When you go to room parties,
Yeah, it's all over.
it doesn't matter.
it's all over. It
None
don't
of this shit
matter.
applies.
Yeah, none of this shit, but I got you.
You could be having your genderqueer nipples in the shower if you wanted to, and no one's gonna care.
I could, extrapolate on that, but I'm not going to.
Oh, to be honest, I was gonna Google gender square nipples, but I don't want to know what's gonna show up.
Actually, no. I'm concerned about the men who really want to get into it because they have to literally wear like a man bra just so they can show it all off.
Hey, I
But
don't say no man bra though, right? I don't think so.
Non-binary nipples.
I find it hilarious how you laugh when it.
I just reread it and I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, like, what kind of fucking world do we live in? Male, female, and non-binary nipples.
Yep.
Okay.
What's next? Non-binary buttocks or whatever. Oh man,
God, no.
the memes. The memes.
It's
It is a meme in itself. Oh, that's
Yes,
so
it is.
damn funny.
Yep.
Inu Kamiya says, if you're wearing car battery jumper cables, that's considered nipples are covered. GTA 5 this shit, boys.
I'm
that's a good one.
certain that there will
That's
be
called-
people who think that electrical tape counts.
Actually, well, that's called technical appropriation, and I don't appreciate you using robots as an object for your privilege.
No. Just wait. Something like
Okay.
that, you might as well just, wear yourself a belt as a boob strap.
I also find it
Covered in
hilarious that
nipples, TM.
one of the dress codes is no body makeup as clothing, and clothing
Body paint.
no body
Yeah,
paint,
It's
no
pretty
body
reasonable.
paint, whatever. And the clothing is in
Like,
quotes
if you
'cause,
just basically paint yourself in whatever and wear no clothes, then
yeah, and you're pretty much
yeah.
naked. Yeah, you all don't
I
Pretty
need
guess technically, yeah, that doesn't really count as clothing.
Yeah,
My suggestion earlier was just going to be to put some stickers on your nipples and say, "Yeah, cool, I'm covered."
Yeah, they're
Actually, no. What if you wanted to dress like a Smurf, like with the real body paint shindig?
Well, yeah, but body paint's not a covering, as it says in their
yeah.
conduct.
Yeah, which makes
Okay,
sense.
wait. Okay,
But
hold on a
again-
second. I'm actually now that I think about it, the more I'm confused. They're saying that they don't want exposed nipples of any kind, right?
Yes.
Do you guys remember that person who dressed up as Anubis at Anthropon?
I think so. What
Who
was
was
it?
shirtless? Yeah.
Wait, shirtless.
He dressed up as Anubis at Anthropon. He
Oh, I
was
didn't see that
shirtless.
one.
He had like a skirt, the head and everything. But that's how Anubis, the god, in ancient Egypt, actually looks. And he walked around like that at the con because it was part of the whole costume.
Yeah.
Nobody
I'm
really batted an
sure
eye at
there's
that.
probably some form of exceptions, but
Like
I
that's
doubt
what I'm
it.
thinking.
Yeah.
Well,
At least like
this-
in that respect, because that dude was not wearing a shirt at all. He was like
I know.
topless.
That's how Anubis
But
is
yet
presented,
it
but
looked
he's
like
kind
Anubis.
of.
Well, did you see
Look.
his man boobs, or was that covered?
His entire upper body was not covered.
Yeah.
Just
But
like the
so it's
Egyptian
just
god.
basically poodling in a sense.
I
Hey.
mean, like poodling to a very extreme degree.
I know. But hey, on that same note though, hey, Mikhail, speaking of poodling, you know who'd love this con?
Who would? Not sure.
No. Corey Coyote.
Oh gosh.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that video off of Twitter.
Oh man.
Yeah. I just had to put it there. But alas, that's pretty much that though. If you're really 18 and you want to actually see what this con is about, well, why not just take a trip to Vegas and see what's up?
Or you could do that in 3
it's
years
like-
when you're 21.
Yes.
Options are there.
Yeah.
Yes. But you must be 18 years old to begin with. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's
yeah.
And
Other than that, though.
and if any parents watching, don't bring your kids, please. Dear God, don't bring your kids.
No.
No.
Well, they wouldn't be able to be allowed on the property anyways at some of those
Yeah.
hotels that have
I know.
this stuff.
I know they
Well,
would
yeah,
just
the
they would
thing
just
is
tell them to
that,
leave.
like there are casinos and stuff where usually, as long as you go specifically to the hotel and you don't go anywhere near the casino space, you
fine.
can probably get in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that it's an 18+ convention. You shouldn't bring anyone who's under 18. Period.
Yeah. Period. Yeah, that's your fault if you do that. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So.
Other than that, though, yeah. So I think this pretty much has run its kind of course, though. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but come on,
Yeah.
really.
I
So-
don't know if it's a good idea.
Yeah.
We just gotta wait and see.
I mean,
see what
honestly, I think it's a redundant idea because, like, we all know that these things happen at cons anyway. But
Yeah.
the fact that they're excluding minors, I think, is a good thing. At least
Yeah.
they're recognizing.
At
that,
least they're open about
know
it,
what?
though. That they're
Yeah.
Well, because they didn't want any, pedos showing up or whatever, or any groomers or whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
'Cause
not
they're
to
minors.
sound like super biased, but I guess I am kind of super biased because I'm an adult. If they made a FurryCon simply for those under the age of 18,
Oh god, I would be against that.
that would be annoying. I'd be like,
That-
fuck that stupid
Nope.
shit.
Nope, only for
Like-
kids. Nah, I know.
Oh, no. It'd be like fucking Chuck E. Cheese. Like, no,
Yeah.
don't even bother. It would
Or-
be so
or,
unprofitable. It would be not...
Or it'd be like Dave and Buster's from like 3 to 8 p.m.
Yeah, and all parents are allowed. I mean, how lame would that be? No.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's gonna open a whole new rabbit hole, which
Yeah, you don't want the maps.
slowly back away
the map,
from.
The map first come out of the work.
That's.
But 18 plus, that's all good. Preferably 21 plus, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we're going to move to the next biggest and best story that we probably have in the news cycle. Yep, that's right. How did one board game cause so much? Sold.
Yes.
yes.
Salt mine.
That's right. Vic Kapur says, I bought a copy of Hasbro's Mean-Spirited and Woefully Ill-Informed Monopoly Socialism board game, so you don't have to. What? But I have to!
Why do you have to?
now.
Because that's what the state says. The state says you must buy this game, so you must buy this game. Obviously.
But the ironic thing is that people are buying the game With capitalism.
Yes, capitalism is showing you that socialism sucks.
That's the thing. The tagline: "Winning is for capitalists."
That's the
And-
big punchline.
Yes, and
Yeah.
collectivism is for dead bodies. Hooray!
And not to mention, he says, because as we all know, socialists never play sports or participate in any sort of competitive activity like board games. Wow.
Also, there's also certain things that I find pretty funny. Like if you scroll down a bit, like there's a card that says plays this card immediately. Tax time, socialism doesn't come cheap.
One by one.
It's,
But now,
you go one by one. Okay. Yeah.
there's some good titles too as well. We're All Winners School and Healthcare for All Hospital.
I've seen that. That's pretty funny.
Oh, there's quite a few good titles. But
Yeah.
let me guys just give you a little rundown of how this game works. All right, so you have chips. You have 10 of them, and they are not going towards properties that you own, but they're going towards projects. So
Really?
basically, you have to roll the dice, go along the game, and try to invest in other people's projects. And every time you do
Really?
that, you take money out of the collective fund.
Oh, okay. So you
Half-
don't.
Okay, so if you look at the board game itself, it's cut in a diagonal. Half of that diagonal is the money, and that's the collective fund that you can
Oh.
all draw from. And
okay.
and this is how everybody loses. If you run out of money in the collective fund, literally everyone loses. And that's eventually what's going to happen at the end of the game.
So the
but-
collective
Well, yeah,
fund
because-
is,
Your goal is to opt out of the game as soon as possible by distributing your little project chips before the collectivized money runs out.
so is
Is
that-
is that-
essentially what
Oh.
happens? Is it's almost like how socialism worked, about how
Exactly!
if one freaking
Exactly
person
how
were
it
to
is.
fuck up, they'd be executed.
so is that
Everybody
essentially the
everybody
bank?
was disposable to the state.
Okay.
When the money runs out, everyone dies and or loses.
Okay.
But if
Okay.
you were able to drop all of your chips on not your properties, remember, your projects, your group funded projects,
Hmm.
and then you win. You win
Okay.
when you lose.
The thing
Wow.
is, you
Mhm.
could quote unquote win the socialist monopoly in like 3 rounds if you luck out with your landing spots. Because you just land on a spot and you're like, take my chips.
Right. That way,
Yeah.
other people
Yeah.
can't contribute to basic projects.
Yeah.
And then you just
So-
screw them.
It's socialism, my dude. But hey,
I-
there's still a lot more that they mock, though. No tip vegan restaurant and dairy-free coffee shop.
No
And the guy-
vegan restaurant.
That's
yo.
a good
The guy
right
gets
there.
so salty because, ooh, they're not, them and socialism are not connected.
No tip.
Oh, come on.
Dude, I wouldn't even call this salty. I'd call this fucking savage. I mean, this is how you fight
No, he's
socialism.
savagely salty.
This is fucking hilarious.
Like he's having a meltdown over this game, and it's hilarious.
Oh my
Yep.
god, I love it.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
You catch your neighbor using a plastic straw to drink from a disposable cup.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's it, guys. All right,
That's
if
it.
you're out, if you're Wolf, go to the Trump campaign store and buy me those Trump straws.
Okay. How many? 50, 100,
All right.
1,000?
Good.
Oh,
He's the one-
That climate
Open the
denier.
Oh man, him drinking out of that cup, that's oh man.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Look at this stuff as well.
I think that one's my
By the
favorite,
way-
like right there. Oh, we just passed it. Oh.
Oh, and guys, just to like throw some extra irony on here, if I were you, I would buy this game right now and not open it, like leave it in like its saran wrap or whatever, because in several years it's
Gonna be
worth a
worth
lot
some
of money,
dang good money.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
funny.
it's gonna be
my
valuable,
dudes.
like a collectible.
I had an ex-member just DM me and said like, I said, should I get this? I was like, yeah, go to Target. That's where the one place you can buy it from in a reasonable price. Go there, get one. And he did.
Actually, well, get two. One you can play with, and then one you can invest in.
Yeah, because
Yes.
one's either it's gonna be, you know, a Monopoly game that you can sell for full price 30 years later anyways, or it's
And
gonna
it's
be
a
worth a
socialist
lot of money.
game!
I would
Using
just buy this
capitalism
for a
to sell
meme.
Socialism. Wonderful.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
Indeed.
That's
So, but
great.
look at this though. He also got salty about the when you collect money when you pass go. $50 living wage, and it was reduced from the usual $200 to emphasize that socialism makes everyone poor.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
poor or dead, you know, either one works.
Yeah,
God,
quote unquote
the name
living
is-
wage means that you're able to maybe buy food this month.
Together we
and look
rise,
at what's next door
baker.
to it.
Wow.
Together we rise.
Baker.
What a name for it. What a name
Does that say
for it.
banking?
Oh, baking?
Bakery.
Oh, bakery, yeah. Yeah, that's what I read it as, bakery.
Also,
Together we rise in poverty.
That's irony.
Oh, that's crazy. Honestly,
also,
this game is genius.
Ne-
It really is.
next up, minimum wage increase. Sucks to be a small business owner.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's so true.
Oh, so true, but damn.
Like, getting chance cards could literally end the game.
Ow.
Because you
Ouch.
pay $100 from the community fund to the bank.
Oh, this is their bank. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
And the community fund is what keeps everyone alive.
Jolt, could you show like a screenshot of like an overview of what the game looks like?
Give me a second. This is the board.
okay. There we go.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's-
California advocates for this kind of for
Okay.
this kind of shit.
Yeah, and they're
you know,
moving to
that's
Colorado.
There's no card. You seem to be doing too well for yourself. That's not how socialism works.
She's
Oh
just
my
funny.
god. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like nails and a hammer. Oh, yeah, you're a little bit higher than the other nails. Let's just hammer you all down so you're all equal.
So you're all useless.
Well, uselessly the same.
No, because you'll all eventually be so starved and freaking malnourished that you won't even be able to stand up, so it'll be useless irregardless.
I just love this game. Who developed it?
Hasbro did.
Hasbro, the makers
Yeah.
of all things Monopoly and all the genius that is their games.
And
Oh,
now,
you mean like Hasbro also?
look, and now they've become freaking chads for doing this, and last year's
Fucking
Monopoly
Hasbro's
for
awesome.
millennials.
That's great.
Good.
Yo,
Good.
Good
Okay,
on them.
Good on
full
them.
disclosure. I actually have Monopoly for millennials.
Oh,
Mikael, can you
nice.
please confirm this?
Oh
Yes.
you!
Yeah.
You guys played it?
Yeah,
Yes.
we played it during the trip, and it was.
Oh my god, that's.
It
fucking
is worth
awesome.
its weight in triggering.
It looks like they just
Why?
stepped it up a notch.
Yeah, they definitely. I think they're going for a more Cards Against
They
Humanity kind of route.
I don't blame them.
They
That's quite
didn't
funny.
they didn't go and turn it up a notch. They shifted gears and floored it. Let's
I
be on
wouldn't go
his.
that far. I'm still waiting for monopolies for Nazis. I'm still waiting
Well,
for that.
no, that's something that they
There's some
don't want to
clever
go
ideas,
after because
too.
they don't exist. They want to go after everyone that exists as something.
No, I'm
Because
waiting.
millennials were the big thing
Yeah.
happening. Oh, everyone wants to be socialist now. Let's make a game for socialists.
I'm
Well,
waiting
silly-
for the
silly
the
me,
ones
the-
for snowflakes.
Oh, silly me! The
'Cause-
media is telling me that Nazis are everywhere. Obviously, it must be a problem, right?
Well, I don't think they would call it Nazis. I think they would call it Monopoly for snowflakes. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of which, though,
Please
guys,
make-
we've got some great Monopoly ideas coming up. But before that, though,
Oh,
you'll
millennials
never
are
guess
wrong.
who went out
uh-oh.
to defend Monopoly socialism.
I would love
Minus
if they
10
made
for
it.
man spreading.
You'll never guess
God.
that Ted Cruz defended monopoly socialism.
Ted Cruz, so relevant.
You know, I have mixed feelings about Ted Cruz, but I do like this game. I like the idea of this game.
Yes, so do I.
I don't like the
believe- I'm not-
idea of his particular, fantasy religion, but they, add some.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't really care for Ted Cruz either, so
Yeah, he's wacko.
Yeah.
He's fucking whack.
he's out there.
You might want to
Oh.
say
And-
he's bonkers.
Oh, and here's the other good part though. Here's some. If you were looking for some clever ideas for Monopoly, Ted Cruz has you covered. Because
Really?
we could do the Russia USSR edition of Monopoly.
Oh.
We could do the East Germany edition. You build a wall across your living room, put all the food, technology, and prosperity on one side, erect machine guns on the wall, and shoot anybody who tries to get to the west.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's some bias right there. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Doesn't
No, he
Ted
doesn't.
Cruz realize that the Soviets were the first ones to go to space? The first ones to launch a satellite? The first ones to put a living creature in orbit? Any of that?
That's the
Or
sarcasm. I love it.
Possibly the first ones to ever build a fucking space station. Does he forget about that? Yeah, I
Also,
think
the
he
only
did.
ones to ever arm a space station.
You're damn right we did.
And the UN just allowed it.
Well, the UN's like, you shouldn't do this.
And then the USSR is like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Pretty
fuck
much,
you,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
go get it then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To which then the Americans happily obliged.
That is nice. Suki Americans.
They never even were able to use it because, they never had a purpose to use it. But, it was because America has this fearsome technology, so let's put a 23mm gun on a space station.
Okay, first of all, yes, there is a reason to use it. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Iron Sky. Very good documentary. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Oh,
I
By
would
the way-
have to understand
Yeah.
what the reference is. But yeah, I will probably watch it at some point.
Yeah, but we're getting a little
Oh.
off topic. We're talking
One-
about like
one
the
little thing.
Yeah,
Monopoly.
we
one more
derailed somewhere.
Yeah,
it's all good though, but just this once. But there's another good idea. We could do the Monopoly for universities. You imagine a magic
Oh,
money
gosh.
tree. You give everything free to anybody who wants it. Nobody works, studies, or innovates, and everybody gets an A+.
Oh gosh. When you say colleges, I just think of the whole.
Or you can go and get the Everyone Gets a Pass award that we've been doing for frickin' 20 years in school systems and be, oh, you ran out of money? Here's another 15,000.
So, Jolt, when did you join the Yang Gang? Just curious.
Oh, that's a good question. I wish I had an
Seems-
absolute answer to that, but
Oh, but
I
that's
don't know.
fine, because you
$1,000
get
for everyone.
absolute income.
that's when I got hooked in.
No, that's gonna freaking mess everything up.
Yeah,
Can you
that's
imagine
why
the
people aren't
inflation?
I can't imagine just how horrifically bad this is. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
But I mean, look, at the end of the day, for people like us, though, all I'm going to say is this. When you finish listening to this episode, I want you to get up from your chair, open the front door, drive to your nearest Target, and buy this board game. Now.
Hasbro, lots of money through capitalism while endorsing socialism.
Oh,
Hasbro, if
and,
you're watching this, please sponsor the stream.
and
Oh
one
yeah,
more thing, though.
please sponsor us. That'd be cool.
That would
Yeah.
be cool.
Don't forget, also, we recommend to buy Monopoly for millennials. That was the bomb.
Yeah, that would be. That's
So get
awesome.
them both, and they are it's worth its weight in gold.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
You will not regret it.
but unfortunately, we're not sponsored by anybody just yet.
But hey, it's give it time, and we'll get
Give it-
somewhere.
Yeah, give it time.
Anyway, though, there's just one last item to cover within the time we've got left, but it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter how long it'll take for this. But yes, there is one last story that's been causing a bit of a shake-up in the movie world.
Yes.
Yeah, because see, Disney and Sony had kind of a falling out over the rights to Spider-Man. in the films.
Mm.
Yeah.
Two
Avira.
really bad companies eating each other alive.
Yeah. I would
Now
say
we just need to get rid of
Disney. Yeah.
a few of them, a few of the big companies, and we'll all be better off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Considering we know how much of a hand that Disney loves.
Yeah. They just love to create a monopoly, don't they?
Yeah, and it's pretty
Well,
much.
they are a monopoly, yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, no.
All right, so
Yeah.
here's the rundown of what's going on here. Sony claims that they had rights to Spider-Man many decades before Disney ever did. Now, technically, they're not incorrect. They did. Sony did own the rights to Spider-Man before the Marvel universe sort of sucked him into his whole lineup.
And
under
then got
Disney.
sold to Disney.
And then, yeah, well, exactly. It got
Well,
sold.
was it so?
But-
Oh, okay.
But now, because Spider-Man is becoming much more popular, Sony's like, you know what? We might want to look back into our old contract, because if you remember, back in '83, Sony actually did legally own the rights to Spider-Man, and as far as I don't believe they 100% sold over the rights to Marvel. In fact, they were working with Marvel.
Yeah, it was like a
problem is-
partnership. Yeah.
Right, but the problem is Disney bought Marvel. So now, what do you do if you're Sony? You're like, okay, well, if I'm working with the company that was just bought over, do I still have to work with them? Or do I have to make a new contract? And because this franchise is becoming so popular, like, now what are they going to do? And there's been quite a bit of controversy about this. So, for instance, if Sony were to, get Spider-Man again, what are they going to do? Are they just going to neglect the entire Marvel universe? Are they going to forget that he knows Tony Stark, or Thor, or Hulk, or any of those characters? So it's very difficult. But honestly, unfortunately, I guess at the end of the day, it really only affects us, the fans. People who are watching these movies, who are invested in characters, and we just want to see a good story. I care about this because it's my job, but for the most part, most people don't really care about the whole corporate, contracts and all the crazy bullshit going on behind characters being transferred. We just want to see a good story, right?
Yeah.
But that's what's going on now. So Sony might actually try to take back Spider-Man. It seems like they're definitely putting efforts into doing that, and Marvel's not backing down. Or I guess you could say Disney is wanting to back down. But maybe they might, considering, what I just said before.
Yeah, because Disney is not in a very good position right now.
What do you mean?
I mean, just in general, Disney has been losing money lately. I mean, of course, also they've been caught inflating their returns.
They have, yeah. Disney spent $4.1 billion to get the Star Wars franchise. And look at where it is now. And now they're trying
it's basically a rotting heap, and none of the characters are relatable nor memorable.
So reasonably, it makes sense for them to hold on to characters like Spider-Man and let him still be in the MCU universe. But if Sony's trying to fight back against that, Disney's going to again lose more money if they lose.
I think they're just trying to come up with, agreement of a fair share, and I think greedy Disney.
Isn't it that Disney basically wanted so much of a piece of the pie that Sony just said, no, we're taking charge of this because you're too greedy.
Yeah, sounds like business. Like
No.
No,
Jolt, I don't believe that.
you don't think so?
No. because I'm not saying that Sony is being greedy. I think that they're being
No, I think
profitable.
I think
and
Disney's
there is
being
a
great.
difference between that. It's because I think Sony realized just how corporate and just how strong and powerful Disney has gotten by accumulating all of these different franchises, all these titles, all this everything. And at one point, Sony was like, "Wow, we actually used to own this property." And I'm not a lawyer or anything, but as far as I know, legally, it does still seem to appear to be within their right to go after Disney to get their property back. And if it weren't, then Sony wouldn't do this. That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying it's reasonable that they would be.
And the
So
thing that's
Right.
also like confusing to me, isn't Disney the one that gets all the profit from like this like the Spider-Man merchandise, like the toys and stuff,
they do, yes,
but Sony doesn't. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of
exactly.
gray. It's kind of
And
gray area.
and that's what I was saying before. Like, let's say you create a character, and you want to advertise it and whatnot, like this is part of your company, and then some other company comes in and says, "Hey, we'll use your character in our films, and you'll get a cut." Okay. Now, if Sony did not sign a legal contract with Disney before doing this, then everything would be fine. But the fact that Sony is still fighting for this right now, that tells me that something
Oh, yeah.
fishy happened. That they didn't sign a contract, or they were.
Well,
misplaying,
I think
or
the problem is
something
there's a
else.
gray area.
Yeah, there is a
There,
gray
there
area.
might be. Yeah.
There is. Yeah.
And that's what they're fighting about. Because maybe they didn't actually sign a contract when it comes to certain liabilities or whatever it might be.
Yeah. That's possible. Yeah.
But also think about it though. Disney is extremely powerful. So
Yeah.
if they do win, then
Me
what?
too, then. But other than
Yeah.
that, though,
Yeah. Then what? Yeah.
you'll also find that Stan Lee's daughter is spoken out against Disney and Marvel for not treating their, Stan Lee's, intellectual
Rightfully
property
so.
right.
Oh, his creations correctly. Yeah. Saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think that's rightfully so. Yeah.
Yeah, she was very upset at how they're abusing his legacy after his death.
Yeah.
Disney and Marvel as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, both. It's a cash grab.
Yeah, because she basically said Marvel and Disney are seeking total control of my father's creations, must be checked and balanced by others who, while still seeking profit, have genuine respect for Stan Lee and his legacy.
Well, they don't care. That's the thing. They care about dollar
Yeah.
bills.
Yeah. They care more about money. They can't even took the time out of the day to to go to probably his funeral or whatever. That's what it sounds like. Like they didn't even check up on her or whatever after Stanley died or whatever. That's kind of, I don't know. That's just kind of messed up. To me.
Why should they care about the person who created the character when they can just make $50
Money.
million more dollars based on the fact that he died?
I don't know. That's messed up to me though. I think that's, I don't know. I think you have to draw the line somewhere.
I agree. That's messed up to me. too.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
I think
corporatism, where bottom line's all that they care about.
That and basically the bottom line. If we ain't making enough profit, we're gonna have to axe the property.
Well, you can still make profit and just go to somebody's funeral or something like. I don't know.
Yeah, Toonie, Spyro versus Mickey Mouse.
I don't know.
Well, it would be possible if Sony were the
mean how
owners of Spyro.
Spyro would kill Mickey Mouse? Because he totally would.
Yeah, it probably would.
In before Mickey Mouse calls his friends from Kingdom Hearts.
But I think Spyro versus Crash Bandicoot, that would be kind of debatable. Like who would have won in the fight?
Come on, this isn't a Sony versus Sony thing or an Activision versus Activision thing. Semantics. But
Yeah, no.
Sony versus Disney.
I don't know. Sony versus Disney.
But look, hey, just one of these days too. Speaking on that kind of same note, yeah, Sony did end up buying back Insomniac.
Oh, okay.
Not much has changed, but yeah.
And we
But
don't
look,
know if there's any like loopholes and stuff, right? With this whole Disney, like Sony and Disney thing. Like I don't know. Like any loopholes or whatever.
Honestly, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to loopholes either. And do we know if Disney like avoid taxes as well, like Amazon and stuff like that? Like
Oh, I'm certain they do.
I would imagine they do, because big corporate America.
yeah, but that's just kind of the state that those industries are in when those big players have literally got their hands on everything.
Yep, you have so much money you could just pay off somebody, so you don't have to pay taxes or whatever. Yeah, sadly.
But I suppose then the future of the Spider-Man movies are going to be up in the air. So
yeah, it's up in the
I'm
air.
not really sure what's gonna happen with that.
yeah,
A lot of people are.
Not just that. I would like how does this like affect the investors as well right now? Like
yes.
I would imagine they'd be pissed. Like oh crap! Like this money we invested in this property, maybe we should it's gonna backfire.
Yeah.
Now,
That's what's up.
if I gotta be totally honest, though, I don't think that Marvel is just gonna let this go down, considering how invested they are in Spider-Man and their movies.
Yeah.
I don't think this is really gonna become fruition.
It's going to be a little chaotic. I'll say that to the least.
Oh yeah.
Unless you have
Disney.
recast Spider-Man, recast his entire backstory, make a whole new stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
If you
Like,
want to
'cause
do
didn't he-
that, I guess
'cause-
that's what
'cause
Sony
didn't-
wants to do.
Didn't Disney buy a property already? Like not Spider-Man, but like a property like this year recently. Like didn't they buy X-Men like Disney this year?
What are you talking about?
Didn't Disney buy X-Men, the license, the
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
yeah.
X-Men, yeah.
But the
Yeah.
latest movie basically turned out to be a flop.
Yeah, because I think that was the last. Was that the last movie with Fox, or was it going to be one after that? Then the Marvel stuff, like the Disney stuff. I mean, I'm not sure. Because I think the last movie that came out was. I don't think that was Marvel. I think that was Fox, right? But, I don't know.
But look at its current state now. Disney isn't exactly in the best shape. Remember?
Yeah, they
There.
ain't.
Remember the freaking Star Wars is literally up and left to right, and then you got all this.
Yeah, Star Wars is crash and burn zone right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't think the next one's going to do that well either. The one that's going to be coming out I think around.
Yeah,
December.
movie burnout is a thing that happens.
Yeah, movie
Okay.
burnout.
That and Disney going woke.
Yeah, and the whole live action thing that's going on right now. Wait.
No, we don't say everyone though.
Don't. Why
Oh,
did
you don't-
mention that?
Oh, because you don't want to think of the Lion King.
No, the Lion King broke his heart. The Lion King broke Avira's heart.
I saw some clips of it. It wasn't good.
No,
Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. Awkward cut to the closing statement. Well, this shouldn't have to happen, but for Avira's own sanity, we're gonna basically. This is pretty much what time we've got left. But well, so what do you guys think? Crazy news cycle or what?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The cycle on this.
I know there was a lot that happened this week.
We-
Just sitting here.
Yeah, we need to talk about a story. I think we forgot to talk about one.
Yeah, but considering time constraints, I think
Okay,
this
fair
show really worked quite well, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think so.
so.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can only see it sideways, but it seems like you guys did.
Yeah.
Also, because
I-
of this whole new formatting we have in StreamYard, just before we disclose all things, I am willing to take this to the next level if you guys will vote. Should I? Okay, so shall we get a vote? Should I or should I not fork over money on a monthly basis to make the podcast this pretty? Do you guys like it?
I do like it, but
I like it, but I just
I'm
think.
willing
Wait,
to
I think.
contact the guys quickly and ask some straight help.
Uh-huh.
The site is still in beta, so I don't know. It's
I
up
mean,
to you.
it
I'll
works
say-
quite well, don't you think? Like we basically
I
we're
think
up and on
so.
YouTube in a meager 10 minutes or less. And this
Yeah.
could very well be our new home.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So
Like, do we
don't
know
you
if they're
worry,
gonna
guys. No
integrate?
rush. We have
Like,
like 6 days to mull this over before the discount expires. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Do you
literally
know-
being held hostage by a discount here.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
But anyways, though, sorry, one by one. Any closing statements, like in general review cycle and all that? Who'd like to start? Mikhail?
Just there's just been a lot of craziness going on this week.
Oh, dude, you're telling me. The stuff that made us happy, the stuff that, what a world we live in. Beowulf?
Good question. Closing statements. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably more interesting things ahead. So I feel you don't unbuckle your seat yet. 'Cause I don't think it's over yet.
Oh no. Oh no. That's why we exist, dude. We're taking you on this ride and having fun every step along the way. That's our goal, and if we've basically done that, we're happy. And we're always happy to have you along for the ride.
Yes. Always happy to throw my 2 cents in the hat because 2 cents is more than 1 cent.
Where's my other cent, dude? You owe me.
I swear I threw them both in the hat. I don't know where the other one went.
Alright, whatever. Let you off. Zach, I think you made quite a good first showing.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Zachary Fox Kitty here.
Hey, no
I'm
problem.
happy to be on the show. When I will make a return, I have no idea. It's
Oh, also, since
'cause-
Avira kind of dropped out for a
time
little issue,
whatever.
I'm going to read one last little live comment. Native Rabbit Nasty says, I kind of want to tie Avira to a chair and force him to watch the new Lion King now.
I think he did already. Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, that's one way to break a guy's heart.
Oh.
But in that sense, though, I'd just like to remind you guys one more time, the Furry Raiders podcast is available on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Google Play Store, Stitcher, and we're looking at more platforms further down the line. And if we decide to take the StreamYard basic plan, we'll be able to find a new streaming service as well with restream support. So we'll advise you on any further developments. And also one last reminder, please purchase Monopoly Socialism and Monopoly for Millennials.
Yes, and please pitch the idea of Monopoly Snowflakes to Hasbro, please.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be funny.
All right.
Yeah, everyone's a special snowflake.
Yep. Some
Oh,
just
yeah.
gets triggered more than others.
Okay, so it's all good though. This is us signing off for the week. Take care, and until next time, farewell.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye, everyone.